my name is Rosemary, and you are watching Life, Love, and Pop Culture. Well, I grew up in a little town in Connecticut, and I guess I got into singing just because I wanted to join my church choir, because I went to church every Sunday, and I was like, it's not fair that I don't get to sing. And so I joined, and then I had a really lovely woman who helped me kind of embrace my voice and be comfortable singing alone, so I started cantering, if you know what that is. And that's how I started kind of just like performing in front of a crowd, kind of, was at church on Sundays. But I always was so obsessed with pop culture and pop music, which was kind of weird. Like, I feel like more people listen to country, and I was into it for a while, but I just kept coming back to pop music and wrote it, and now I'm recording it, and I couldn't be happier. Not gonna lie, it was kind of hard, but people always did say have a backup plan, like you said. Even my parents wanted me to have a backup plan because if this doesn't pan out, you need to have something to fall back on. And I think it's easier to be kind of reckless when you're younger, so I said, if I had a backup plan, I'm not gonna do this. I just like know myself, I'm really honest with myself, and I said, if I have a backup plan, I'm doing my backup plan, because this is too hard of an industry to continue forward with if like you don't want it bad enough. And so I just haven't really let anything get in my way since then. I'm not saying it was easy, but I am saying that I guess I do want it bad enough. So I still don't have a backup plan. I hope I never need one. Yeah, this is plan A through Z. I wrote them all myself, really organically, kind of through my travels from New York to California. I just kind of started in my room, continued on the plane, ended it in the car, went in the studio and recorded it, and that's the album that I released. I think that learning instruments was really important. For a while I felt like I was kind of hiding behind my instruments vocally, and performance-wise I was kind of afraid to take up space, which I feel like as a woman I've always kind of seemed like I need to make myself more like smaller, more delicate. And so when I kind of took off the guitar for the first time and like utilized the stage and got up on top of an amp or jumped off of it or just whatever crazy idea I had, I felt so empowered. But I never would have gotten to that level had I not started on an instrument, had I not like had a passion for music of that sort. Then I'd probably still be in a gown singing in a church choir or something. Yeah, so as a woman in the music industry, I mean, I guess I wasn't really in the industry when I first started, because no one really is. You're just kind of doing it on your own. And I was getting kind of a lot of backlash on that in a way that I didn't know how to understand. Honestly, feminism isn't something you're born knowing necessarily. So I went back and I read a bunch of literature and I educated myself because it's something that's important to me. I didn't understand what feminism was. I didn't understand why people were so angry about it, and I didn't understand why people were so passionate about it. So when I did go back and look into it for myself, I realized that all it really means is that we want equal rights for both women, men, non-binary, genderqueer, whatever you identify as, not just our cis sisters or cis brothers, but like everybody. And that was something that I really related to, because I feel like it's so hard to figure out who you are. And as an artist, that's kind of my job, is my own self-discovery. That way I can help other people discover themselves or feel like it's okay to be themselves. That's something that I think is really important. And I just kept thinking, if I'm a white woman in America and I've experienced this, then imagine how hard it must be for my fellow sisters. And when I went to the Women's March, it was probably one of the most powerful experiences I've ever had. I felt so connected to these people that I was meeting, because we were all here for the same purpose, and we were all here just to speak out on behalf of people who can't do this by themselves. Like, it starts with yourself. It starts with changing yourself and being the change that you want to see, but it takes a whole group of people to make that happen, and I think that it's starting, and I'm really excited about it. So if anyone ever had any questions about it, I would tell them to either hit me up on Instagram, like, do not be afraid, or just like send me a comment, and I'm more than willing to share like what I've learned with other people, because I'm still learning. Like, I'm not perfect, but I've met some really good people recently who've been helping me out with that. If I had to give my younger self advice, it would probably be, don't be afraid, because I think fear held me back from a lot of things for a long time. And also, don't let what other people say influence you, because I know that there would be things that I would have done and maybe strayed away from because I was afraid of how other people would react. Like, do what makes you happy, because in the long run, like, life is short, and there's nothing more important than your own self-love, self-care, and I'm still working on that, but I would tell myself to start way younger. Ooh. I guess I'd say I want to be remembered for my music, but I feel like it's more accurate to say I want to be remembered for making a difference. Even if that's just in one person's life. I know that music kind of strives to make that a bigger impact on more people, but if I've just changed one heart, it doesn't really matter if a million people are listening to me, like, that's enough.